Okay, welcome to our cat chat. I am Policia Williams. I'm with Educational Supportive Services. This is Annie Connolly, and she is with Counseling Services. This is my first cat chat, and our topic is there are stranger things than asking for help. So we're going to talk about the first common issues college students face when it comes to asking for help. In our line of work, we probably come across a lot of students. I know Annie probably does. I know I do. I don't want to keep speaking for you, but who are afraid to ask for help. We know students need the help, but for some reason, they don't come and ask for it. So first, we're going to talk about common issues college students face. I'm going to break down what are some common things that college students go through or face in university life, and just the reasons. First of all, poor grades are an issue that college students face. The grades might start slipping. I have students that come here who are, maybe they were 3.0, 4.0 students, and all of a sudden they come to college and their grades start plummeting. Okay, so it's easier to build a good GPA than it is to recover from a failing grade. It's a slow progress, and if you consistently keep falling lower and lower, you may get discouraged. Family issues is another one. When you're trying to go to school, but you have issues at home with your loved ones, it's hard to stay focused on what you came to school to do. They might be calling you, they might be used to, you being the one to help. You might be the one that's the mediator, whatever. It's kind of hard to focus on your grades and your classes when you have all these issues going on with your loved ones. Health problems are another big one. They could be physical, mental, emotional, sexual health. They can take their toll on anyone, not just college students. These things make it hard to focus as well when you're dealing with issues like this. Financial problems is a huge one. A lot of our students are facing financial issues, whether it's trying to figure out how you're going to pay for school, cover tuition. Maybe you have unpaid bills because your financial aid wasn't enough to cover the cost of school. Some students we have are working 20, sometimes more hours a week. That's a pretty big deal. When you consider going to classes, you may have, 5 classes, and each professor gives homework and assignments as if they're your only class. Then you have to budget that with having a full-time or part-time job. Can take its toll on the person. Relationship issues, you got a boo thing, circle of friends, there's drama, you broke up with your significant other, you have to deal with that emotional issue while you're trying to go to school and focus. Meanwhile, maybe they're blowing up your phone, maybe your friends are bringing the drama to you. Other issues, not fully understanding why you're here. Freshman class a lot. Sometimes we play this little game, we can point out freshmen on campus. But for those of you who have never been away from home before, you're away from home, you're on your own for the first time, your parents aren't around, you can pretty much do what you want. So sometimes you get a little bit unfocused, you might make new friends, like go party, go drinking, whatever. You kind of forget sometimes why you're here, or that life takes over, and then next thing you know, you're skipping classes, you're not studying like you should, and then it kind of goes downhill from there. Hope you guys like my images. How many of you guys have seen Stranger Things or watched it? I hope for those of you who haven't, this will kind of make you want to. Other common issues college students face. Understanding that faculty and staff really do care about them. We want you guys to succeed. That's why we're here. Most of us are here because we care about students. We love what we do. We want to help you. So sometimes people feel, well, they don't know me. Why should they care about me? Or they're just here for a paycheck. They don't really care what happens to me. That is not true. K-State does a pretty good job of hiring people who are student-centered, who really want to help students. So find that faculty or staff that you trust when you have an issue that you can go to and talk to. Knowing your resources, where can you turn to for help? Sometimes students, you guys are bombarded with messages and emails, and you're not sure, there are resources, but you're not sure which one to go to when you have a particular problem. Okay, there's lots of academic help. But if I have a problem that I feel is unique to me, because everybody thinks that their problem is the only problem, where should I go to? Which department should I turn to for help?
All right, so some tips on knowing when something is a problem. Some rules of thumbs are with sadness, when you have more bad days than good ones, that's more than, just adjusting to difficult transition to college, or if you have trouble getting over a breakup or something like that, you shouldn't be having more bad days than good ones for a really long time, weeks in a row. If you can't enjoy things that used to be fun for you, that can be an indicator that This might be bigger than just having a bad day or a bad week or a hard time. If you're having thoughts about suicide, that's definitely a time to reach out. This is a lot more common with students than you would realize, and there's no shame in feeling like things are overwhelming or feeling like you need to talk to someone. There are people who have experience working with students who struggle with these kinds of thoughts. You're not the only one, and there's definitely help out there. Stress and anxiety. So it's common to come to college and feel like the academic burden's a lot bigger than what it used to be, financial problems, getting along with roommates. But when your worrying seems to be taking over your life, that's a good indicator that it might be time to ask for help. If you have physical symptoms of stress or anxiety on more days than not, that can be a problem worth addressing. So if your heart's pounding all the time, if you're sweaty, if you have stomach issues, even when you're not sick, if you feel like you can't breathe, those are all anxiety and stress getting out of control. And if your stress or anxiety is making it difficult to study or go to class, that's definitely something that can indicate it's time to ask for help. Relationship and family issues, something a lot of students deal with. First major relationship for some people, first major breakup. Again, if it's like interfering with studying or like going to class for more than like a week or two, that can be a bigger problem than just kind of going through the ups and downs of college life. And it can be a good time to ask for help. If there's any physical violence, if it even happens just once, reach out to someone who knows what to do, or just any professor, anyone can point you out in the right direction, even if they don't know exactly how to help, and help you find that help. Emotional abuse that can happen in relationships. If you feel like someone is like deliberately lowering your self-esteem, like giving you messages like you can't, you're unworthy, if they're controlling you, telling you you can't spend time with certain people or do certain hobbies, or telling you that your emotions and your feelings are not important or you're not important, that's a problem relationship. And there are people out there who know how to help you get through that. Alcohol and drugs. College is definitely a time when a lot of students are experimenting with those things, although maybe not as many students as it seems. And there definitely are students who struggle, and it can be hard to know, like, is this a normal college experimentation or is it getting out of hand? One rule of thumb for that is if you're using alcohol or if you're getting high to cope with feelings, or you're trying to escape something, either that like sadness or that anxiety, or you're trying to escape certain memories. If you're doing it to avoid something rather than to like party and have fun, it's a good indicator that there might be something underneath, that's something bigger than the alcohol and the drugs that you might need to work on or get help with. And if you're spending a lot of time thinking about when, how, and where you're going to get your next fix, that's an indicator that it might be becoming like a bigger part of your life than you originally intended when you started experimenting. And again, if it's like keeping you from going to class or studying, then it's definitely more of a problem than if it's just like partying on the weekends. If it's causing your grades to drop, or your grades are not where you would like them to be, it's damaging friendships, those are all indicators that it might be time to ask for help. Food, this is another common college problem, is eating or dieting. So again, if you're like eating or dieting to deal with feelings, self-esteem, stress, or if your life feels like it's out of control and you're using food to either like cope with it, or using dieting to like feel like you're regaining control over at least something in your life, chances are there might be something underneath there that someone could help you with, and you don't need to deal with it alone or let it get out of hand. If you're dieting, even though a doctor hasn't, some rules of thumbs are with sadness, it might be good to like ask yourself if there's like some other feelings or issues that dieting is trying to achieve. If this is a concern for you, you can always like Google your height and weight on a BMI chart, put in like height, weight, BMI. If the number that comes out is 17 or lower, that means that your health might be at risk from dieting. So that's a good time to get help for that. Sleep. A lot of college students don't get enough sleep. So for some people, this might just be like an issue of time management and making time to sleep. And that's something that like counseling services could help you with. But even if you're lying in bed and it takes you more than 30 minutes to fall asleep, so like hours and hours, even though you're making time to sleep, it's still taking hours to fall asleep, or you wake up in the middle of the night, like more than 3 nights out of the week, that's when it's kind of like above the average, like having a night here and there of not being able to fall asleep. That can be a good indicator that it might be time to ask for help. Concentration. The difficult thing about college is you have to spend like a lot of time studying on your own without a lot of structure. It can be easy to procrastinate or get distracted. But even when you are studying, if you find yourself having to read the same page or passage over and over again, and it's getting hard to focus even in subjects that you're interested in, or even on like hobbies that you're interested in, and you're having trouble like listening to people when they're talking to you, that might be a time where it's above like a normal adjustment to college kind of concentration problem. And that would be a time to ask for help as well. So if you're still not sure, always ask. It's better to ask than to kind of struggle through it alone and not being sure if you should ask for help or not. Like Paulisha said, like most of the time, like faculty and other staff don't feel like you're bothering them or anything. They would rather you ask. And the worst thing they can do is tell you, gee, I don't know, but they can hopefully point you in the right direction, and it can never hurt to ask. And it's always better to get help sooner rather than later, so that it doesn't snowball into a bigger problem than it needs to be.
All right, so next we're going to cover 8 reasons why students don't ask for help. And there are a myriad of reasons why, but these are the 8 ones me polling my students and ask each time. And I ask a lot of questions. So if you guys ever feel interviewed by me, it's because I'm always seeking information and knowledge, and I like to go to the source. So these are the 8 main reasons my students that I work with told me that they have not or don't or are reluctant to come and ask for help. They don't want to appear weak. Okay, I'm a big kid now, and that has always been my biggest thing, not wanting to appear weak. I got this, I can do this, I don't need anybody's help. And some of us feel that asking for help is a sign of weakness. Is actually a sign of strength, because having to swallow your pride sometimes is the hardest thing you'll ever do, to go to someone to ask for help. So don't see it as a weakness when you need to go to someone and say, hey, I need help with this.
And chances are you're not the first person who's asked about that thing, even though you feel like it, but chances are you're not.
They're overwhelmed and don't know who to ask. Okay, you try to solve the problem yourself, and now your occasional bad dream has evolved into a full-grown shadow monster. What do? You guys have watched the series. It started out small. Second season, it was a little bit bigger, a little bit more sinister. That's how problems usually are. You know, you're overwhelmed, you have all these issues. Well, who do I go to? Okay, that's my academic advisor, but it may have to do with relationship, or, you know, who do I talk to? They don't feel they have the time, or they feel they don't have the time. I have a lot of students I talk to, oh yeah, I know I was supposed to come in, but I got so busy with this and that, and I just ran out of time. So you've been meaning to do it, so you keep putting it off and putting it off. And it's not a priority. It doesn't become a priority, but it should be, because this has to do with your life. And if you don't nip it in the bud when it's small, it's going to get bigger. They don't want others to know just how bad things are. Everyone else seems to have their stuff together. So what's wrong with you? On a college campus, you have thousands of students, and everyone else is walking around looking confident, and then there's you. You don't want your friends to know you got an F in this class. You don't want anyone to know that you're struggling. Everybody else seems to get it. You're sitting in lecture hall, and everyone else is saying these intelligent things and asking these intelligent questions, and you don't know A, B from Z. So you sit there and you kind of play along and pretend that you have it all together, but you don't. So you don't want anybody to know. You feel like Annie said, you're by yourself in this, and you're not.
And sometimes I like to tell students, you're watching everyone else's highlight reel, the parts, like the best parts that they're choosing to show you, but you're watching your own blooper reel. So something to keep in mind to fall into that thinking trap of like comparing yourself to others is like, others are struggling too, they're just not showing it to you.
They don't understand why it's important. So asking for help is vital to your success. Why should I? Is it that big of a deal? Yes, it is. They truly feel they can handle things on their own. I got this. Again, you're smart, you can do this, you've gotten yourself out of worse pickles, you just need a bigger seller. So you always feel like, okay, I can do it until you can't. They don't want to feel like a burden. Maybe you feel like, you're bugging the person that you might want to go to for help with it. You're not throwing a van at people, no, but it can feel that way. Okay, you feel people have enough going on. Your advisor has 300 to 400 other students. Why should he or she care about, what it is that you have going on? Or maybe it's your parents or your friends or your counselor. They don't feel important or think others will care. This goes back to self-esteem. You keep thinking, I'm just one person on a campus of thousands. Who cares about me? Why would anybody want to help me? So next part is campus resources. Who are you going to call? So here we have campus resources for academic assistance, and within departments and colleges, you guys, there are actually more. These are just a small snippet of some places where you can start if you need assistance with any of these things. So if academics, if you're struggling in your classes, you need some help, there's educational supportive services for qualifying students. That's programs serve students who are low income, first generation, and have disabilities. For those students who don't qualify for ESS, there's AAC, the Academic Achievement Center, where you can get academic coaching, tutoring, same types of programs if you don't qualify for the first one. Holtz Hall tutoring, ESS students receive free one-on-one tutoring through Holtz Hall, but there are tutors available for a lot of subjects. I know some subjects they don't have tutoring for, but most of them they do. So it doesn't hurt to ask and see. Also, if Holtz Hall does not have the tutoring service, the class you need, they do have resources. They do know where you can go to get the help that you need if they don't have it. Office of Student Life is also in Houghton Hall. Houghton Hall is known as, you guys know where that is? There's like a circle in front of, behind Hill Library, or in front of, how depends on what direction you're coming from. That is also known as the University Success Center. You walk through the doors of that building and talk to any one of those offices. They should know where to point you in the right direction for any problem you may be having. Your advisor is someone else that you can go to, of course. Your professors, I've had a student that Holtz Hall did not have tutoring for. Her professor is now tutoring her. The Writing Center can help you with some writing issues that you may have. You know about the Writing Center, great. Editing papers, those kind of things, great place, great resources. And also the Student Access Center, if you're a student with a disability, even if it's a temporary disability, you're climbing trees or you're on the rock wall, you fall, you break your leg. You don't have to hobble across campus. They have resources. A lot of students don't know, but did you know that they also have golf carts, to get you from class to class if you're ever in that situation. Personal family issues.
For personal family issues, there's also a lot of lesser known resources on campus. The Office of Student Life mostly let them know what's going on, and they can help you coordinate with your professors to see what can be done about your classes. And usually professors are really open to working with the Office of Student Life and helping you succeed no matter what's going on in your personal life. Family Center, they have counseling for like individuals and also like couples if you're having relationship problems, or even like families, family counseling. Student legal services, these are lawyers that we keep for students to help with some of the like more basic legal issues a lot of students face. Even if they can't help you, they can definitely give you good resources in the community. Do know what to do with your specific situation. The Care Center, a center for advocacy, response, and education. This is for survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault. They help you navigate being a survivor, and they don't like pressure you to call or press charges or anything like that. They're just there to help you get the things that you need. Center for Child Development. This is mostly for like students with kids. They can provide like childcare for when you're in class and things like that. K-State Counseling Services. This is where I work. We do individual therapy, things like depression, anxiety, stress. We also do like career counseling if you're having trouble figuring out what your major is, things like that, which I will go into like more depth later. And then we also have a LGBT resource center for students who have like a marginalized identity or are struggling to find out who they are in that area of their lives. Office of Institutional Equity, again, helps like students with marginalized identities. And the Veterans Center for our students in uniform or vets.
Financial problems, of course, is the Office of Student Financial Assistance, includes your personal financial aid counselor. How many of you guys knew you had a personal financial aid counselor? Anybody? You guys didn't know that. It goes by the last name. So I think there's like 3 or 4 of them right now, but ask, find out who that person is, because that's a person that can sit with you one-on-one and help you with any financial aid questions or concerns that you may have. Cashier's office, yeah, they might be the last place students who owe money want to go, but they have all kinds of ways to help you if you owe money. They have payment plans. They have different ways you can pay for it. So it doesn't hurt to ask. PowerCat Financial. Financial wellness is very important at this age. A lot of college freshmen come to college in debt. And debt is one of the main reasons why students leave college. So PowerCat Financial is a big source on campus that they have workshops to teach students financial wellness so that you can make better choices with your money. Student legal services, again, helping students if you have legal issues with your landlord, with maybe you got into a car accident, any legal issue you might need advice on. They are also available to help students. Cat's Cupboard, if you are dealing with food insecurity as well, that's a place that you can go to help supplement your food. And they also know of other resources in town that may be able to help you as well. Office of Student Life, the Career Center, they can help you with resume writing, cover letter writing, interviewing. They also have a closet there. If you don't have the money, you can't afford professional clothing for an interview or something, they have resources for that as well. And again, educational supportive services. We provide grant aid for students who qualify financially, who are first and second year students. Staying focused, again, ESS, that's for qualifying students, and the Academic Achievement Center for students who don't qualify for ESS. K-State First, that's the first year and transfer students that they work closely with if you're a first year student or transfer student. Holtz Hall Tutoring, again, for tutoring, your academic advisor. And again, the Student Access Center and or Lafine Health Center if a disability is causing the issue. Also, if you have trouble staying focused, and it might be a disability such as maybe it's depression. Depression causes people sometimes to lose focus. I should have put this on here, but I think counseling services is worth a trip to as well.
Okay, so some of the things that we have for students at counseling services is group therapy. Group can often help you like connect with other students who might also be struggling with something, whether it's like school or relationships, anxiety, or their like relationships with other people. So we have like groups for students to like talk it through with each other and also learn about like themselves and how they relate to other people. We have a spectrum group for the LGBT community or anyone who's like questioning. And we have a group that's just for graduate and non-traditional students. And we also have a group called Calming the Storm, and that one is like more structured and skills-based, where a counselor like teaches you basic skills for managing things like sadness or having trouble focusing or stress or extreme emotions. So that one's like a more like skills building group. Of course, we have like individual therapy. This covers just about anything you could be struggling with: stress, roommate problems, anxiety, depression, relationship problems you need to talk about, family issues, difficulty studying. And even if you just want to like come in and ask, like, do you think like this is a problem or what can be done about this? Even if you don't feel like it's a problem, you can, if you're wondering, chances are it can help to ask. If you're having a lot of trouble focusing on schoolwork, for example, we can figure out like where that's coming from. And so really just like talking it through with someone can be helpful. We also have this cool thing called biofeedback, very high tech. So what we do is like we hook you up to like sensors for heart rate and skin temperature, breathing, and other like indicators of stress like that. Oh, and we have a muscle tension measure too. What we do is we have like a mini class, and then we also have one-on-one coaching for biofeedback, where you do like relaxation exercises and watch the sensors, and the graphs on the screen go like up and down to tell you like which relaxation techniques are working best for you, and where else like you can improve. And so that's like a cool and, in my opinion, pretty fun way to learn how to relax, because that's something students struggle with, is like wanting to relax, not even knowing how. That's something that we have at counseling services. We also have career counseling for those who are like struggling with what to major in or what they want to do after college. trying to find the best fit for their interests and needs and their specific personality, goals, and things like that. We also have self-help resources at our website, kstate.edu/counseling/topics. So we have like a non-graded like mini course in like academic anxiety, and then like how to manage stress. And we also have other links to places where you can go to kind of like read up on skills that you can use to get through, or like numbers to call, depending on what you're dealing with. We also have like walk-in appointments. If you feel like you're really in a pinch and can't wait to make an appointment, you can always walk in between 8 and 5, or you can just like call us if your issue is something where you can like wait for an appointment, or if it's better to come in now. So between 8 and 5, we always have a counselor on duty that you can just come in and talk to for about like 20 to 30 minutes and figure out where to go from there. You can also call our phone number 24/7, and it will connect you with a mental health professional, even when we're closed.
Thank you for coming today. Are there any questions?
So the question is, who is on the other end of that number? And you call the 24/7 call line. It's a special like mental health service that connects you with a mental health professional who can give you like what you need for the moment, and then they also let counseling services know what's going on, so that if needed, like reach out to you and then follow up on that, so that you have like a provider here on campus after that phone call. That number is for counseling services specifically. It's not for Lafine. We cannot help you with if you're bleeding or something like that. If you're having a medical emergency, call 911. That number is just for mental health things.
Any more questions? And there is no such thing as a stupid question, so please ask.
Cat chats are every Tuesday at 4 o'clock here in Leisure 13 for the remainder of the semester.